Many MBA aspirants peruse the top MBA rankings, see familiar names from domestic American programs, and then stop for a second and they consider London Business School or INSEAD or IESE, ISADE, Oxford, Cambridge, even CEBS or HKUST. And they think to themselves, what would it be like to study abroad? Well, here are a few things that you should consider as you examine the costs and benefits of studying abroad. Okay, let's start with some benefits. What a life experience. Wouldn't it be amazing to live in London or in Fontainebleau or in Barcelona or even in a small old university town like Cambridge or Oxford or in Hong Kong? What an amazing, amazing life experience. And it's tough to quantify that. These are remarkable opportunities for you that will put an indelible print on your life. And if that's important to you, obviously, this should be something you consider. Of course, derivative of that amazing life experience is that many who are applying to those schools are applying as internationals, and these programs tend to cater to internationals. So if you look at a domestic program, let's say Wharton, where their domestic student population is about 65% and their international student population is about 35%, well, LBS has its largest representation at about 17% from South America, 15% from North America, 15% from Europe, 15% from Asia. It's far more diverse, and that tends to be the rule at other international programs, of course, like INSEAD. If you want to find a position abroad, if you want to live abroad post-MBA, well, that is where the recruiting is. So 9% of those at INSEAD got jobs in the United States. About 50% of the class stayed in Europe. If your goal is to live abroad after school, then certainly studying abroad will help that. If your goal is to come back home, it becomes more complicated. Also, it can be an incredible opportunity to become culturally conversant in a different place. So if you find India fascinating, if you find China fascinating, then you may want to look at ISB or CEBS. It can translate into positions abroad or even positions translating, being almost an ambassador, someone who opens markets for a domestic company in that market abroad. The bottom line is, it's much easier to become culturally conversant in China by living in China for 2 years, as opposed to taking an international curriculum at a North American school. Now, like I already alluded, there are some costs to studying abroad. If you want to come home, it can be more challenging to find recruitment, especially in niches. If you want to work in Hollywood, it's tough to do that from Fontainebleau. If you want to work at Amazon, it's going to be tougher to do that from Cambridge than it is, say, even than the University of Washington Foster School, of course. If you want to come home, your network is also abroad. It's not just about recruiting, but for the rest of your life, most of your network will be dispersed around the world. That's just something to consider. Also, there'll probably be less domestic content in class, and that for many is actually appealing, but it's something to keep in mind that you're going to have fewer cases on Nike and more on Nestle, for example. Okay, so that's a quick crash course in the costs and benefits of studying for your entire MBA abroad. You may also want to consider an alternative, which is studying for merely a semester abroad. Please check out this video right here. Thanks so much, and best of luck with your applications.